Welcome back to my channel. We are going to the library today. I typically only go to the library maybe like once or twice a month to pick up physical books, unless I have placed a hold on a physical book and it has come in, then I'll go to the library earlier than my scheduled date. But this is our once a month library trip. We are getting some physical books to read over the course of August. I have a couple books that I need to return. Actually, let me show you. So I actually had a couple books that I already returned. I had about 6 books that I already returned whenever I went to go and pick up this book, Shots on Net, which this is an college hockey romance. It's book 1 of a series. It was so good. I love this book so much. It's been a while since I read an romance, and I am so happy that I picked this up. It's so good. I only had this book actually for about a week because it's a new title. So most times with new titles, they only let you keep it for a week. So I read it really quick in 1 week. And so whenever I went to go and pick up this book, I dropped off my other library books and I didn't film it. So it's fine. They were dropped off, and this is the one that I have. And then the other one that I have to drop off is actually a Mediterranean cookbook. Did you know that you could get cookbooks from your library? Because you can. And then you can try the recipes, and then you can write down the ones that you like, and then you can return it. And it's perfect. And it's a pretty chunky cookbook. We did try a couple recipes in here. I mostly just find recipes online, but I am trying a Mediterranean diet to help with PCOS and insulin resistance and all the symptoms that go along with that. So a low inflammatory, low carb, low sugar, high fiber diet. It's a mouthful, but I've been enjoying it so far, and there's a lot of really good like summer meals that go along with Mediterranean diet, so it's been perfect to try over the course of the summer. But I've had this for about 2 months. I'm going to return it so someone else can have it, and I'm glad that I got it. I might actually look to see if there's any other cookbooks, but I do find most of my recipes on like Pinterest or online, or just like word of mouth or Facebook videos. Basically not physical format, but that's fine. So these are the 2 books that I am returning today. Let's go and see what I can find on my library shelves. Okay, so I am sitting in my library's like study room that they have. I was on live with Readin magazine during like my little trip here because the summer reading program we were doing one of the bucket list items, and one of the bucket list items is to go to your library. So me and one of the other staff members of Readin magazine went on live together, Riley, and we just kind of browsed the shelves to pick out books that fit the STORYGRAPH prompts of the summer reading program that Readin magazine is putting on. Anyways, okay, backstory done. These are the books that I got, and there were a couple other books that I saw as I was browsing. I think I'm gonna go back and grab, but they didn't really fit in with like the prompts, so I didn't get them for this first round, you know. But that's the fun thing about a library, you can actually just go around again. Okay, so the first book that I got, The Almond and the Apricot, and this is for the prompt, a book with fruit on the cover. And the synopsis, it sounds like magical realism, and it's also a very short book, so I'm excited to get to it. It sounds really good. This magical debut novel follows a woman and a young girl, a world apart from each other, whose paths cross in the most unusual of ways. Emma had the perfect trifecta: a long-term job as an engineer designing sewers, and a steady relationship with her reliable boyfriend, and an adoring and creative best friend about whom she wasn't quite ready to admit her unrequited feelings. Then early one morning, a phone call changed her world forever. Now she's having nightmares that threaten to disrupt the space-time continuum. Nightmares of hiding from bombs in basements, of glass shattering from nearby explosions. But these disturbing dreams, in which she inhabits the body of a young girl named Lily, seems all too real, and Emma's waking life begins to be affected by the events that transpire in this mysterious wartime landscape. Convinced she has been given a chance to save a life, Emma tries to rescue Lily from heartache, but ultimately it is through Lily that Emma finds her way back. The Almond and the Apricot navigates connections formed across space and time, and explores love, grief, and the possibility that the universe might be bigger than either Emma or Lily ever imagined. It sounds so good. The next book I got takes place at a lake or takes place at an ocean. I'm gonna have to read this to figure out which one, but I need a book for either prompt anyway. So, What Still Burns, and this is a thriller horror book. The synopsis is: some fires never go out. Lex Blake swore she would never return to the town where she'd lost her home and her family in a devastating fire that only she survived and can barely remember. But when her aunt dies, leaving behind a mountain of debt, Lex has no choice but to head back to Northern California to settle her family's estate. The small town is much the same way Lex left it, tight-knit, staunchly religious, and wary of the Blakes, as evidenced by her run-ins with the sheriff, the preacher, and the nosy locals. Small town core. The one saving grace is her old flame, but even Kaylee McFerrin isn't enough to distract Lex from the bitterness of her past. Preparing her family's property for sale forces Lex to contend with strange occurrences and mysterious phone calls that begin to unlock buried childhood memories. And when the body turns up, and then another one, Lex realizes that the mystery that the night is deeper than she ever imagined, and the threat that already destroyed her life once still burns. Thriller, horror, small town. Now, one book that I am really excited for, I've seen a lot of my mutuals raving about this book, is The Prospect. And I got this book for, takes place, or has a summertime sport, and baseball is absolutely a summertime sport. So I'm very excited to have like a fun romance book. The short synopsis is covered by a sticker, so I'll read you the long synopsis. Underdog and optimist Gene, the first openly trans player in professional baseball, has everything he's ever let himself dream of, until Lewis, Gene's former teammate and current rival, gets traded to his team, upending the careful equilibrium of Gene's life. The two can't manage a civil conversation off the field or competent play on it, but in the close confines of dugout benches and roadie buses, they begrudgingly rediscover the rhythm. For every tight double play they execute, there's also a glance at summer tan shoulders or a secret shared, each one a moment of possibility that ignites in Gene the visceral, terrifying kind of desire he's never allowed himself. Soon, Gene has to reconcile the quiet, minor league-sized life he used to find fulfilling with the major league dreams Lewis inspires. Second chance romance. One of my favorite tropes, which is insane to say. I know. Second chance romance and friends to lovers are my two favorite romance tropes. I'm so excited to get to this. I got two more books. The next one I have is the cover has flowers, or the title begins with S, and I have to see which one. I don't have a book for yet. I honestly can't remember, but I got The Seep, and this is, I'm going to read you a little quote on the front because I think it's going to perfectly encapsulate what it is. A unique alien invasion story that focuses on the human and the myriad ways we see and don't see our own world. Mesmerizing. Short story sci-fi. Hell yeah. I'm very excited to get to this one. I think it's actually like less than 300 pages. And the one thing I really like, I like to know the authors that I'm reading, right? Okay, so this author, I'm reading her author bio at the back. Chana Porter is a playwright, teacher, MacDowell Colony Fellow, a co-founder of the Octavia Project, a STEM and fiction writing program for girls and gender nonconforming youth from underserved communities. She lives in Brooklyn, New York. I love that. I love that. So I'm very excited to get to this. And the last book I'm going to read is, I don't know how to pronounce it because it's translated work, but this is a very short book. It's like 102 pages or something like that. But this is for a cover with fire on the cover. And I will read you the synopsis because I do want to read more translated work. The only luxury is safety. An unnamed disaster has destroyed the world outside, but within the walls of the seaside resort called Termush, a select group of guests continue to live life undisturbed for now. As time passes, signs of the cataclysm begin to bleed into their gilded Italy. This book might actually be too smart for me. Before long, their peaceful days have turned into an agonizing wait for things to fall apart. That might not have convinced you to read the book, but I will let you know how it is, because it's possible that I just effed it up. Published, printed, originally published, English translated, English translation. Also, this book was written in 1967. Translated copyright is the year 1969, and forward copyright is 2023. So it seems like this might be a little bit of a classic. I have room for more books, for sure. I don't know if you can see that. I absolutely have room for more books. Does anybody else's legs just like stick to plastic all fucking summer? Embarrassing.